Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna play Ninefold Promise. I saw this game on the Yandere game jam and I'm like, this looks cute. I want to play it, so here we are. Let's begin. Choose your pronouns. She, her, him, they, them. She, her. I woke up slowly, the warmth of another body pressed against me. For a moment, it felt comforting, familiar even. But as my eyes adjust to the dim light filtering through the curtains, my pulse began to quicken. All I remember was waking up from a nap besides my boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. The realization sent ice through my veins and I froze. My breathing hitched and I forced myself to stay still. Well, now we have a boyfriend. We don't make the rules. Now we have a boyfriend. Maybe it was a dream. Maybe I was still dreaming. But then he stirs beside me, his arms tying around my waist.
Good morning.
Like, your voice sounds good, but it's kind of sounds muffled. Familiar. I stared at him, dead in the face. This seemed too real. He shifted again, this time propping himself on one elbow, and felt his gaze burning into me before I turned to meet it. The man, or whoever he was, had a face so perfect, it borderlined on unreal. I tried to pull away.
What's wrong?
Oh, he sounds kind of like, what was his name from, Heartcage. Around me, I saw a Netflix movie still playing. A bowl of popcorn on the floor, and things that planned out that I was watching a movie with my boyfriend. Who are you?
It's me, Kai.
I couldn't. Brain fart. Still on the name at the moment. Starts with D, and I'm like, brain fart. I was at work and 4 asthma attacks today and yesterday, like, because they were remodeling the floor, and so I went for caffeine crash already, and used my inhaler. So yeah, I'm kind of out of it. I couldn't breathe. Okay, I couldn't breathe. Kai, that name meant nothing to me, and yet flashes of memory flickering in my mind. Holding hands, whispering, conversations, laughter. What I don't.
It's okay. You had a nightmare, right? I'm here for you. I always will be.
My friend's like, shh, I need to check. Okay, Dane. His voice reminds me of Dane's voice. He raised his hand to sweep away the hair out of my face, and eventually it occurred to me that what I was saying.
First, remember your name, where you are, and what you're doing.
What? What's your name? Wyan. I'm Wyan.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Oh no, I'm definitely not sure. Yes, I'm sure.
Right. That's you. Now, where are you?
My house.
What were you doing?
Watching a movie and eventually falling asleep. Wait, what movie?
Yes.
With Batman. My little stuffed Batman. My boyfriend for 3 years, Kai. Only me. Who are you? My boyfriend for 3 years, Kai. His eyes sparkled, and he pulled me in for a hug. I lay still, comforted by the presence of my pillows, blankets, and his arms. I never knew my sofa was this relaxing. He smiled and locked his eyes with mine. You snapped out of your nightmare. His voice was gentle, calming the storm in my chest. His hand reached for mine, intertwining our fingers, though I could not help but notice how hesitant he was.
You scared me for a second there. What kind of dream were you having to make you forget me?
I was dreaming that I was in Journey to the West, because I've been reading that. He chuckled softly, the sound of warm and what? He chuckled softly, the sound warm and familiar. My intentional unease began to melt away under his gaze. Something about his presence felt grounding, like an anchor in the sea of confusion. It felt so real. It felt so real, like I didn't know you.
Well, I'm here to remind you every day if I have to.
Aw. You still sound like Dane.
Want to tell me about the dream? Or maybe I should just distract you with something better?
I think I have to look up. I think it might be Dane's actor. You really think you can distract me that easily? And to be fair, I love Dane. I loved Dane's the demo for Dane. So
I'd say I'm pretty good.
as to prove it, he pinched my face. It hurt. That was for sure.
See, you're not dreaming. I'm real. We're real.
What an odd feeling. What a odd feeling I had before. You'd always been with me. What was I thinking? I felt his arms around me again, gently resting his face on my shoulders. He seemed to enjoy every last bit of my warmth, as if I would fade away.
Oh, don't worry. I think you're hungry. Maybe breakfast?
Yes. Miso soup, pancakes, waffles, bacon. Well, waffles.
Is that a sign to make some breakfast for you?
Yes. Please. Kai stood up and stretched the muscles in his arms, with flexing as he rolled his shoulders. He walked towards the kitchen, and I couldn't help but laugh at how he looked so unfamiliar with everything. I leaned back into the couch, listening to the faint sound of cabinets opening and closing. A small clatter followed. Do you need any help in there? No, I got this. Oh, he's been unfamiliar too. Unless he's been stalking us. I sat up, already suspicious. The sound of eggs cracking echoed, followed quickly behind the hiss of butter hitting the pan. Then silence. Kai? It's fine. Everything's fine. I peeked into the kitchen and couldn't hold back a laugh. Kai stood by the stove, spatula in hand, staring down in the pan as if he had personally wronged him. Sir, we have frozen ones. Okay, so maybe I lied about being good at this. Well, you're not the only Yandere that's bad at cooking. Maybe? He turned to me with an exaggerated pout. Don't laugh. I want to impress you. By burning breakfast? By burning down the house? I thought effort counted for something. Scoot over. You're lucky I know how to cook. It's called frozen food. I'm lucky for more reasons than that. He watched every single one of my movements. I love watching you. I think that's a double meaning. Just don't just sit there. Get the plates. Yes, chef. He jumped up, bumping my shoulder as he passed. This felt easy. This felt like I've done this a million times before. I set up the table while Kai grabbed some plates and kitchen utensils. He calmly sat on the opposite end of the table to me after he handed them to me. Okay, those look good. We ate the breakfast. We ate the breakfast. I whipped up waffles. He stuffed his face full, leaving not a single bite behind. Adorable. It's okay. Unfamiliar. Adorable. Before I could voice those thoughts out loud, that waffle for. Thank you so much. He smiled, wiping his mouth with his handkerchief and smiling happily. He seemed unsure of what to do and continued looking at me to gauge my reaction. You are welcome. We sat in silence for a few more moments. It was really awkward. Going to work? Are you planning to go to work? Going to work soon? Work? Like the thing humans do to get money. I'm so sorry I've known you for 3 years, but why do I feel like I forgot your job? He stood up panicked. What jobs do you think are attractive? This is because my job is attractive, by the way. I don't think you can definition of your job is attractive. Doctor, lawyer, firefighter, wildlife, I think I'm gonna go with this because though technically firefighter. A wildlife rehabilitator for foxes? That's quite an attractive job. He nods his head, deep in thought. You're very right. Foxes are beautiful creatures. And I choose to be a wildlife rehabilitator for foxes, since I thought of that definitely. I'm going to leave now then. I'll arrive at 11 and meet you back up at 2. I'll arrive at 11 and meet you and go back at home at 2. He scratched his head and sent me a nervous smile. I didn't know that type of job required only 3 hours. Well, mine does. By the way, I feel like I'm forgetting something. An umbrella, a kiss, his work outfit, I guess. Hey, did you forget to kiss your precious partner? A what? He turned bright red and faced away. What's with that reaction? It's absolutely nothing. He sounded like a dying rat. I had a cat that sounded like a dying cow when he talked when we first got him. It was a Siamese, and when we first got him, he would go rounds and start yelling my mom's words. He sounded like a dying cow. We loved him, and he also, after that, he was mellow as could be. Bye. He suddenly slammed the door. I looked at the place he was standing in a moment ago, wondering if. He suddenly slammed the door. I looked at the place he was standing at or in a moment ago, wondering if he would be okay. I was consoled by the fact that he was a grown man and could suffice on his own. Despite being utterly confused about his profession, he should be alright. He's pretty responsible in my memories. Enough about him. I work in a work-at-home job, graphic designing. Well, that sounds nice. It's a pretty chill job, without without much to worry about, unless you get an art block. Then it's all over. I decide to go outside first instead of working immediately. I stroll casually through my neighborhood. It's a small one, but it's always heavily comforting to me. I knew everyone here, and everyone knew me too. We have a vending machine. This is the place I stayed in for around 15 years, ever since I was a teenager, and not planning to move out at all. It's the most impactful way possible, my home. My family wanted to move into the big city of Tokyo years ago for my education, and this area was the most peaceful and cheapest one I could find. Okay, that probably makes me understand why there's probably more vending machines. I think one's right there. I would be the one that goes, love Tokyo, but I would move out of Tokyo because it's cheaper. I look around on the left side. Granny Lil said she's out of town for a week. Jenny probably on her way to the office work right now, and Liam is definitely at home snoring his guts out. Why in? I turn my head around, wondering who suddenly called me out. I was greeted by a smiling face of Mr. Reen, the single father living a few rooms away from me. Who was that pretty boy I saw that came over last night? I grinned at him. My boyfriend. Oh, for how long? For years. What? How could I have never seen him before? You should have introduced me to him. He came over very often, though. Why are you lying? He hasn't. I would know. I hear everything going on inside these thin walls. He always knows when my daughter visits, don't you? Right, and I don't remember ever introducing him to you either, which I should have done already. You told me you were single a week ago too. Wait, my phone's ringing. I hope you get that sorted out, Lion. Oh, it's like, yeah, he was lying. He left in a rush, retrieving the phone that was ringing non-stop inside his apartment. I continued my stroll, but now with something etched deep in the back of my mind. Everything seemed so odd with Kai, which is impossible. I remember our first car trip together, our first meeting in the rain for our everything. I cleared my thoughts and focused deeply until I got distracted by a pair of fox ears in the back of some bushes. There were shadows of what seemed to be a dog, no a fox. I walked calmly to the bushes, trying not to alert the fox. What? A very inhumane sound came from the bushes. Totally not a fox. A cosplayer? A child with a fake fox ears? Are you alright? Is someone there? Ah! Okay. Are you alright? The pair of fox ears disappeared from my line of view. That was very curious, to say the least. Oh, I think I have a feeling. I checked in the bushes one more time, making sure I didn't miss anything at all. I found a little pin, one looking like it belonged to a traditional kimono dress. Aww. I want one. I want a kimono. If I ever go to Japan, I kind of want one. Just for like going to festival. Oh, and if you ever go to festivals, I better keep it. I better keep it to return and apologize for scaring the young cosplayer away. It's time to get back to work. Hurrah, hurrah! Let's check up on what my boss sent me. I haven't started at all, but I already have a headache. I pitter-patter all day on my laptop until the clock turned 2 p.m. It's about time that I stopped for the day, and Kai will arrive soon too. Ring, ring. That must be the sound of the doorbell. I run over to the front door and greet Kai. I'm back. He smiled at me gently, his eyes crinkling at the corners. He looks a little dismayed, his collar loosened, and his hair slightly tousled, but still as charming as ever. Welcome home. Tease him. Help him with his bag. Tease him. I heard a yelp from Kai as I tickled him. Stop, stop! He yelped through fits of giggling. I decided to show him some mercy. I'm curious, why is your work so little? 3 hours? My boss's goal. Sir, 3 hours is kinda low. Anyways, I can't wait to show you how what I found while walking to work. What? I'm actually so excited to tell you. Wear your shoes right now. We're going outside. I'm in the middle of work? Kai looked at me and rolled his eyes. Fine, I'm coming. I barely agreed when he dragged me into the shopping district, waving through stores like he had some grand plan. We stopped in front of a jewelry store. The sunlight glistening off the display cases like a scene straight out of a romantic drama. I do like this little sketch. The sketch. Really? A jewelry store? What?
What? You don't think I have good taste?
Well, we don't know your taste because I'm pretty sure you implant memories on us. Because he's supposed to be a Kitsu, a fox spirit, and more precisely like QB Ninetails, the fox spirit. He rolled the door with a flourish, gesturing for me to go in. That's why I chose the fox.
After you, my liege.
What's gone into you?
I was passing by earlier and saw something interesting. Come on, you are me.
I followed him inside, the cool air of the shop washing over us. The room was quiet, save for the soft hum of the display light and the faint murmur of the shopkeeper chatting with another customer. Kai wandered immediately to the case in the center, his eyes sparkling as he leaned closer to inspect the items inside. Planning on buying yourself a diamond necklace? You look good with sapphire. You look good with sapphire. He shot me a look, his lips twitching into a smirk.
I look stunning in emeralds, thank you very much.
Bold choice. Really brings out your eyes. He chuckled, but his attention quickly returned to the display, a step closer, following his gaze. It wasn't the flashy pieces that caught his eye, but something simple. A delicate silver ring with a subtle fox motif and etched in it. Aw, you're trying to tell us something? That one's nice. Yeah.
It is.
There was something in his voice, a wistfulness I haven't heard before. He strained, clearing his throat, and turned to me with a grin that didn't quite reach his eyes.
What about you? Anything got your eye?
I'm not really in the girly type. I want everything. I'm not really the girly type. I'm not really the girly type, to be honest. Not even a simple ring. His question hung in the air the moment longer than it should have, and I felt heat creeping in my neck. Why, you're planning on buying me one? What if I am? I roll my eyes, trying to ignore the flutter in my chest. Then I'd say you're terrible at surprises. You're supposed to be sneaky about it. Fair point. But I rare you pick something you actually like. Makes it feel special, doesn't it? I stare at him, unsure if he was joking or not. But before I could respond, his attention shifted to a different display. Bracelets, earrings, necklaces. I guess, I'll go with the necklaces. I've been eyeing the necklaces. Kai pointed to the necklaces. It's designed simple but elegant, with tiny charms shaped like stars. This one will suit you. Not too flashy, but just enough to stand out. You thought about this a lot, haven't you? Maybe. I glanced at the necklace, then back at him. You're being weird today, you know that. Weird or romantic? I mean, weird because I don't think I had a boyfriend. Definitely weird. He laughed, rubbing the back of his neck. We left the store eventually, with no purchase but a lingering lightness in the air. Kai kept stealing glances at me as we walked down the street, a soft smile on his face. You know, you look good in that necklace. Stop trying to charm me, Kai. Is it working? Maybe, but you still owe me for dinner, for dragging me around. He laughed, draping an arm around my shoulders as we continued down the street. Anything for you, future necklace wearer. When we got home, he suddenly glanced at my way. I wondered why, but I heard the clock tick at 6 p.m. and the rumble of his stomach. What's for dinner? In the sushi, meat covered in garlic burgers. I'm gonna go with sushi. I made your favorite. Sushi. You spoil me too much. He sat down on the table and fiddled with his chopsticks, tapping them lightly on the edge of his plate as I placed the dishes in front of him. He took a bite and let out an exaggerated sigh, leaning back in his chair. You're amazing. Marry me? You never met my mom, Guy. That doesn't mean I can't ask again. Like, sure, I'll marry the Yandere fox spirit. He flashed the cheeky grin. I rolled my eyes, but couldn't stop myself from smiling. The room was cozy, lit by a warm glow of the television. Kai was was on the couch, and his hand wrestling on a pillow when I sat crisscrossed on the floor, attempting to solve a jigsaw puzzle that I found buried under some old books. You could help, you know. Nah, you look like you got under control. I've been staring at this one piece for 10 minutes. It doesn't fit anywhere. Sounds like you problem. Okay, I like him. I tossed the puzzle piece at him, and it hit his shoulder before bouncing onto the couch. Hey, that's assault. It's called justice. Now get down here and help me before I lose my mind. Kai groaned dramatically, but slid off the couch, popping down next to me. He picked up a random piece, inspected it, like it was a rare artifact. This one currently goes here. He attempts to force it into a spot that's blatantly wrong. Seriously? That's not even the same color. Okay. Art is a subjective. Okay. I wonder if fox spirits are colorblind. This isn't art, it's a puzzle. He leaned closer to inspect the puzzle. Fine, watch and learn. Master puzzler at work. He spent the next few minutes picking up pieces, pretending to study them intensely, and then trying to jam them into spots that were obviously didn't belong. You're the worst at this. He's the worst at cooking and puzzle solving. Excuse me, excuse me. I'm contributing. Brain farting, I don't know how to spell it. Moral support counts. Contributing. Moral sports counts. Your moral sport is obviously bankrupt. He made a show of sighing deeply, like I just assaulted his entire family. Okay, I admit, I suck at puzzles, but you love me anyway, right? That's debatable. He gasped, clenching his chest dramatically. Debatable? After all we've been through, that breakfast I burned for you. Yeah, you burned breakfast. The breakfast you burn at the breakfast you burn are the main reasons it's debatable. Kai chuckled, grabbing a piece and finally placing it in the correct spot. Ah, look at that! I'm a genius. Congratulations, you solved one piece out of 1,000. Baby steps. I couldn't help but sigh. His smug grin was contagious, and despite his uselessness, having him there made the puzzle feel less frustrating. Okay, let's make a deal. If you place 5 more pieces correctly, we'll go stargazing. Watch a movie. We'll go to sleep. We'll go stargazing. Kai looked at me, his eyes sparkling with determination. Deal, prepared to be amazed. He got to work, his tongue poking out slightly as he concentrated. I greatly enjoyed watching him struggle. By the time he managed to fit 5 more pieces, we were both laughing so hard we had to stop to catch our breath. Wow, you really put in the effort. I'm impressed. Told you I'm a genius. Now, about that reward. You're lucky you're cute. I know. Now, chop chop, I earned this. After solving the puzzle, Kai tugged my hand and led me outside. I hesitated slightly, but he tugged at me forcefully anyway.
I know you're staring at a computer screen all day today.
Not all day. I wasn't. We stopped suddenly in the middle of the road, in front of my house. The air felt cool and refreshing. Kai pointed up at the sky.
Hey. Look at that. It's like someone spilled glitter all over the sky.
And that's called stars. Romantic much? He turned to look at me and tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. His touch lingered just a little longer than necessary, and I felt my cheeks heat up.
This sky, this exact one comforted me so much back when I was younger. The change of scenery from Akigawa Valley to Tokyo was absolutely insane, but all the stars remained.
Wait, okay, so you used to live in the forest. This all happened 3 years ago? Why did you move? You used to live in the forest. Kai scratched the back of his navel and smiled sheepishly.
Wait, just continue listening to my story. All of the stars remained, and there were new stars too. You.
Aww. You became cheesy.
You love it. I think I could stay like this forever. Just you and me under the stars.
That does sound nice. He shifted closer and wrapped an arm around my shoulders, pulling me against him. I could feel his heartbeat, steady and calm, as it rested my head on his chest. His fingers intertwined with mine, and we stayed there for a few moments, but not saying anything.
Promise me something?
Anything? What?
That no matter how busy we get, we can always make time for this.
Stargazing?
And just being together.
Okay. I closed my eyes, letting the sound of his breathing and the distant chirping of crickets lure me into a sense of peace. I promise. Everything's our promise. Good.
Because I don't think I could survive without you.
That's dramatic.
True.
We sat there in comfortable silence, watching the stars. You know, I could sit here forever just like this. I always wanted to go to the moon one day. Wanted to go with you. You want to go with me? I don't think I could go to the moon. Don't tempt me. I might actually take you up on that. Good. Then maybe I should attempt you more often. He laughed softly, his voice blending with gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze. I tilt my head and look at him, catching the way the starlight danced on his eyes. Do you ever wonder what it would be like to just leave everything behind? Start fresh somewhere. Like running away? Not exactly, more like find someplace where it's quiet, peaceful. Like Akioka Valley, maybe. I think about it all the time, but then I remember something important. What's that? It's not a place that makes it peaceful. It's the person you're with. I felt my heart skip a beat as words. I opened my mouth to respond, but he shifted, leaning down just enough to rest his forehead against mine. You're my peace, you know what? You know that? Even if I was on the moon, as I always dreamt, I would refuse to go if it wasn't with you. Kai accepted. Before I could finish, he closed the distance between us, his lips brushing mine softly. It was warm, tender, and completely disarming. When he pulled away, his eyes searched mine for a reaction. And I knew my flustered expression gave everything away. Was that okay? More than okay. He grinned, his thumb gently brushing against my cheek. Good, because I always wanted to do this for a while. I could see galaxies unfolding in your eyes. And you waited until now? The stars deserve to see it too. Aw. I know he's a Yandere, and they probably try to implant memories in us. But, I laughed. The sound light and free. I rested my head against his shoulder again. The night stretched on, but neither of us seemed to care. For that moment, under the endless glistening sky, everything felt perfect. I felt myself being drowsy and drifting into sleep, my legs buckling. I felt a pair of arms carrying me to our room, opening the lock of my door and dropping me off on my bed. I felt a pair of arms patting me slowly and smoothing me into sleep. I felt someone's body on me, cuddling me all night. And then I dreamt. One day, I found a fox calmly resting on the streets of my neighborhood. It was odd, strange. Not even a fox could end up in the streets of a small town in Tokyo. Oh, you could be surprised where a wild animal will end up. To be honest, I don't think much of how it ended or where it came from. I was only 13 years old. Oh, this is probably Kai. The first thing I did was search up what type of food foxes like. My phone screen glowed in a dim streetlight as I crouched near it, careful not to startle the little creature. It didn't run, didn't even flinch, just stared at me with those sharp amber eyes, like it was already deciding I wasn't Fred. Hey, you okay? Don't worry. I'm not gonna hurt you. The ears twitched, but it stayed still, curled up like it belonged right there between the cracks in the pavement. The fur along its back was messy, matted in places, and its tail looked thinner than it should have. My heart squeezed a little. I glanced back at my phone. Foxes eat meat, eggs, berries. Huh, you don't exactly look like you've been into berries. I opened my bag and rummaged through it, finally pulling out a sandwich I hadn't touched earlier. The smell of the turkey and bread seemed to catch the fox's attention. It lifted its head slightly, nose twitching. Okay, the only thing I could say is probably just turkey because the sandwich, like, that is not common in Japan apparently. It's more like a dessert from what I've heard. Yeah, you want it too? I broke off a piece and held it out. It hesitated at first, eyes flickering between me and the food, but hunger won out. Doesn't mean someone can't make a sandwich. I'm like, yeah, I've seen that they have like strawberry sandwiches. I kind of want to try one of those. Slowly, carefully, it stepped closer and took the bread from my fingers. It barely breathed as it chewed, and something about the way it stayed near me made the street feel less lonely. There, not so scary, right? I sat down, resting my back against the cold brick wall. The fox settled a few feet away, watching me as if it wasn't sure what to make of me yet. I couldn't help but smile. I'll come back tomorrow too. Food, pills, whatever you need. Don't be scared. I woke up slowly, the light streaming through the curtain. The warmth of Kai's body next to mine was oddly comforting, but lingering sense of unease tugged at me. Memories of yesterday flickered in my mind. Kai, the strange dream-like haze, and the fox ears in the bushes. Kai stirred, his arms tying around my waist, before he whispered groggily, "Morning, love. Morning. Slept well? I wish I was until you started stealing all the blankets." Not my fault, you were hogging the blankets anyways. Excuse me, who's the one wrapped up like a burrito now? He pretended to think deeply. Guilty, but can you blame me? It's cold. Then maybe you should stop leaving the window open at night? But I like the fresh air. I feel like waking up next to you even more. Smooth, but I'm not making breakfast again. At least I tried. Though, you know I always love you, even if you're making breakfast or not. Speaking of breakfast, while you were sleeping last night, I tried to do some work in the kitchen. Oh no, did you burn down the house? Wait, the house is still there. I cleaned it up. Up though. Don't be mad. Found out yesterday how to make pancakes for you. I hope it's to your taste. You made pancakes for me? Yes. He woke up and scurried me over to the table in the living room. He proudly presented the pancakes to me. It looked like something. Definitely does not look like completely appetizing. Try it. You're definitely not Sunny Jack in cooking. As I hesitantly take a bite, holding my stomach for safety. How is it? I'm gonna be mean and not mean. Amazing. Really? You think so? I'm not dumb, and I know that this is quite bad, but your words made me feel a lot better. I'll approve in cooking. For you, I'll do anything. He had his hands in his fist and raised it up, determined. Kai sat across from me, watching intently as I poke at the pancakes with my fork. The food wasn't the problem. It was quiet. A stillness hung in the air, too heavy for a typical morning. So, you really made it this all by yourself last night? He nodded eagerly. Of course. I want to surprise you. You deserve it. His words were warm, but something about his tone, it was too deliberate, like he was trying too hard. My eyes drifted to his hands. They were clasped on the table, but his fingers were too still, too controlled, as if he was constantly stopping them from fidgeting. Well, it's definitely a surprise. You're full of them lately, huh? Kai's head tilted slightly. His gaze locked into mine. Is it a bad thing? There it was again, the same strange feeling from yesterday, like his words didn't quite match the moment. I shifted in my chair, glancing at the window. The curtains fluttered in the breeze, letting in the golden morning light, but the warmth I usually felt wasn't there. The house was colder than it should have been, quieter too. No birds outside, no faint hum of life. Are we even in the same house? Just the sound of my own breathing and Kai's steady gaze. No, it's not a bad thing, just you've been different lately. Different how? I opened my mouth, but the words caught in my throat. How could I explain it? The sense of warmness I couldn't pin down, the way the world seemed just a little off. I don't know, maybe I'm just imagining things. You've been tense. Are you okay? You could tell me something is wrong. You will tell me if something's wrong, wouldn't you? There was a sincerity in his voice, but it was only made the unease worse. His concern felt too perfect, like a mask molded to fit the situation. I smiled weakly, trying to shake the feeling, but as I looked into his eyes, I swore, just for a moment, they fluttered. Oh, he's trying to make it so we think of him as a perfect match. Not the usual lights catching an ember, something else, something unnatural. I think I need some air. I'll come with you. No, it's fine. You're already done enough this morning. I just need a minute. Kai hesitated, his eyes narrowing slightly, but he leaned back in his chair, letting me go. As I stepped towards the door, the weight of his gaze burned in my back. Outside, the fresh air did little to calm me. The world was quiet, too quiet, the stillness pressing against my skin. I glanced towards the woods and the edge of the property, and then that's when I saw it. I froze near the door. Faint, muddy paw prints trailed across the floor. My heart raced. I glanced back towards the room I came from, where Kai was still eating alone, then knelt to inspect the prints. They were small and delicate, too big for a cat, but too small for a fox. A dog, a fox. I followed the prints. I felt completely distracted by them. What if it was the fox I met when I was younger? I'm pretty sure the fox we met when we were younger is in the eating. Standing on the end of the footprints was a petite girl with short silver hair, fox-shaped earrings, and a nervous expression. Her eyes locked onto mine before fitting down to the floor. Hi, I'm Rin. Sorry to bother you, but I think I dropped something near here yesterday. Oh, what is it? Is she a fox too? Kitsune too. A pen. It looks purple. I remembered the pen from yesterday. Pull it out of my pocket. This one? Her face lit up. Yes, thank you so much. I didn't mean to scare you yesterday. I was just around. Around? Okay, her eyes are... I think you need to move them a little bit, like, because they're not centered. She's cute, but I mean, one eye is big on one side, and so if you put them in the same area, kind of look better. I'm not being nitpicky. Rin looked away, fudging nervously. Just as boring. Anyway, thank you. Thanks again. She's adorable, though. And I like the little fox pin. She turned to leave, but I stepped forward. Wait, you said just as boring? What were you looking for? She paused, her back still turned to me. My mentor, Kai. Yamamori. That's my boyfriend. I think you look too young to be entering in his workplace. The little girl barely reached my shoulders, staring at me dead in the eyes, her mouth widened. Is that what people do when they get older? Do what? She stomped on the ground, frustrated. Ignore all job responsibilities on their students and chase some person. Wait, what? I'm gonna go with sorry about taking his time. That's right, you should apologize. You seem much nicer than that guy. I want to learn already, but he keeps pushing me away. Almost like he hates foxes. He hates himself. Oh, and I just realized she's tilting her head. Never mind about the eyes. She lowered her head and went quiet for a moment. I want Dad to trust me like he trusts me. I want Dad to trust me like he trusts him. So, is she his sister? Another moment of silence ensures. Do you have a special person you chase? Do you want to hear about my friend Haru? Oh? But I don't think it's the same way Kai chases you, but he's so annoying. I want to keep running after him. Wait, this isn't about me. He does go to work every day. What do you mean? Oh, he does? You're lying so much. She rubbed her temples, suddenly reminding me of an old man. Wonder where she got that from. I haven't seen him teaching me at all. So his job is to teach you? No, it's much more, but Dad doesn't tell me. He's not safe. What did you say about him not being safe? Dad told me not to find him, not to stay near him, but I did anyway because I'm a model student. You should be a model daughter and listen to your dad because he could be dangerous. She came close to me and whispered in my ear. Kai's in danger. People are out to catch him. What? It's like, what? Why is he in danger? She leaned back and turned her head around to see if others were listening and near us, just like a schoolgirl telling her friends about her crush. My dad told me about this. No, we've dated for 3 years, and I've known him for 2 before that. How could this happen? Hey, I'm 11, so 3 years ago, I was 9, right? Yes, that's right. Good job. She beamed proudly. It's like, that's kind of Carrie's like, good job, you know math. 11. I tried hard in human school. So, also 3 years ago, Kai was serving my father right hand. Okay, human school. You're not human? He was the one teaching me instead of those human teachers. So I don't think so. Because 3 years ago, I suddenly could not remember what happened 3 years ago. Tell me, what happened 3 years ago? 3 years ago, I should remember, but it's all a bit fuzzy. Rin glanced over her shoulder, the tension in her shoulders melting into awkward fidget. She chewed her lip, her silver hair catching the sunlight as it swayed in the breeze. I will say her hair is not silver. That might need to be changed, though. That's more brown, brunette. Oh, I forgot. Forget I said anything. I'm probably just weird. Yeah, that's it. Weird. You're calling yourself weird? Rin, wait! Before I could take a step forward, Rin turned abruptly. Her small frame is bored, and she darted down the street. Her fox-shaped earrings bouncing with each hurried step, and soon she was nothing but a flicker of silver disappearing in the distance. Rin, wait! The only response was a faint echo of her sneakers on the pavement, swallowed by the stillness of the evening. What just happened? I thought it was morning when we walked out. The house welcomed me with a comforting quiet. The familiar scent of lavender and faint burnt coffee lingered in the air. I kicked off my shoes, my mind still buzzing with questions about Rin, but nothing to know on the living room table. Going to work, love you. My lips curled in a soft smile as I traced the hastily scrawled heart at the end of the note. I went back to my desk. I sat down, my fingers brushing over the keyboard as I tried to focus on the words waiting to be Rin. But the thoughts couldn't come. Rin's silver hair and strange words filtered through my mind, tangled with the vague unease I couldn't shake. 3 years ago, what was abhorrent about that? And why don't I remember? I shook my head, muttering, "Focus, you're behind the deadline already." I heard the sound of a door unlocking. Kai smiled as he stepped inside, brushing imaginary dirt off his clothes. "Working hard or hardly working? You're back." I thought I'd come home for lunch. What's cooking good looking? Nothing yet. You're helping me. About today. No, I was just out of my mind. I'm a little confused, but I think I trust you, Kai. Okay, tell me if there's anything bothering you. I checked in the fridge before, and there was absolutely nothing I could work with. We're going grocery shopping. Yippee! Kai was unusually chipper as we walked through the grocery store, pushing the cart with a bounce in his step. I fell behind, trying to focus on the list in my hand, but something about him seemed off. It wasn't anything obvious, but a subtle feeling that made my skin prickle. He veered into the snack aisle, grabbing a bag of chips and tossing the cart without a second thought. That's not on the list. It's essential. It's talkies, yes it is. For what? A movie marathon? Exactly. I shook my head, stepping closer to the cart. For a moment, the bag of chips seemed to flicker, just for a split second, like it wasn't really there. I blinked, and it was back, sitting in the cart like nothing had happened. Weird. What's weird? Nothing, probably just tired. He didn't press, instead turned his attention to the shelf of ramen. You know, I could live off this stuff. You practically do. I should get some. Korean instant noodles, ice cream, eggs, bread. Well, Korean instant noodles. Of course. When I glanced back, the chips were gone. Kai, where are the bag of chips you just put in there? What do you mean? It's all right. He stopped, staring at the empty spot in the cart. His brows furrowed, and for a split second, I thought I saw something in his eyes. Worry, guilt. I must have put it back without realizing. Weird. You don't forget snacks ever. He laughed nervously. Maybe I'm losing my touch. Should I grab another one? No, it's fine. Let's just stick to the list. He nodded, but I noticed how he avoided my gaze. His usual carefree demeanor slipping just slightly. We moved to the produce section, where he picked up an apple and spun it in his hand like a magician with a trick. This one got potential. Look at the shine. Sure. I glanced at the card again, but this time it wasn't the chips that were gone. It was the instant noodles I just placed there. My heart skipped a beat. Kai, did you take the instant noodles out? Instant noodles? No, why not? Why would I? I stared at the cart, my stomach twisting. I swear, I just put them in here. In there. Okay, what's going on? Kai reached over and placed a hand on my shoulder. Hey, you okay? You seem distracted. Yeah, just tired. Like I said, probably imagining things. His hand lingering for a moment. Before he pulled away, his expression soft but unreadable. Why don't you just stay here and take a breath? I'll catch the last few things. You sure? You're not exactly great at following the list. I'll do my best. Stay here. I nodded, leaning against the cart as he walked away. My eyes followed him, and for a split second, just a second, his figure seemed to blur like a heat waves rising off the asphalt. I blinked hard, and he was back to normal, casually strolling down the aisle. Get together. When he returned, the cart was full, and his usual cheerful demeanor was back in full force. Look, I even got the right kind of milk this time. Congratulations, you're learning. We headed to the checkout, and the strange occurrence faded into the background almost. There was still a nagging feeling in the back of my mind, like a puzzle piece that didn't quite fit. Our minds trying to tell us something, huh? Next to me, he whispered, not to me, but as opposed to himself. My illusions, are they fading? I watched him look at his hands with deep thought in his mind. Kai? He glanced at me, immediately straining his thoughts. Yes, I'm here. Let's go. Okay, yeah, they are fading. Our minds trying to break out. As we left the store, Kai swung his arm over my shoulder, his touch warm and grounding. Kai insisted we go for a walk to clear our heads. A shrine. The stars were out, and the cool air carried the faint scent of earth and leaves. It should have been romantic, but my thoughts wouldn't be quiet. Kai tugged at my hand gently, his grip firm enough to guide me, but soft enough to feel like a question. The woods around us were quiet, save for the rustle of leaves and underfoot and the occasional chirp of unseen insects. There's something I wanted to show you, something different. Different how? Different in, wow, so romantic, or different as in, whoops, I might have led you to the lair of a bear. Kai snored, a rare gentle sound that tugged at my chest. If there were a bear, I would wrestle it for you. But no, it's a wow, so romantic kind of thing, probably. Like the altar the shrine that's right behind us. His laughter encouraged softly, and I couldn't help but smile. He's always had a way of making the world feel lighter, like he could bend reality with a joke or a grin. Well, we're not wrong about the bending reality because illusions. Just trust me. If you don't like it, I owe you. Big time. Breakfast in bed, foot rubs, whatever you want. I'll keep that in mind. We walked deeper in the woods, the moonlight playing tricks with the shadows. You ever think about how weird it is to trust someone completely? Like I could lead you anywhere right now and you follow me. Well, if you say that, I'm going that way. The opposite way. Don't get too cocky. I'm mostly following you because it's dark and you have better night vision than I do. I wonder why. Sure, that's the only reason. That was a flicker of something in his tone, something almost wistful, but it was gone before I could name it. Where are you leading me? I'm obviously leading you to close you in a pit for eternity. Well, that makes me not want to be with ya. I'm joking. Why are you giving me that look? Almost like you don't trust your amazing boyfriend. He raised his hand to his heart dramatically, as if he just got stabbed in a slasher film. We're almost there. He stopped abruptly, his hand slipping from mine. For a brief moment, I felt unmarooned. The absence of his touch, more jarring than I expected. Close your eyes. What? No. I like knowing where I'm going. Come on, hear me, just for a second. I gave him a skeptical look, but he was already standing in front of me, his hands lightly brushing my arms. I won't let you trip, promise. With a sigh, I closed my eyes. His hands moved to my shoulders, steadying me as he guided me forward. Each step, it felt longer, heavier, like the world was holding its breath. Okay, open them. I blinked again, and suddenly light of the moon filtered through a break in the trees. In front of us was a small clearing where wildflowers blanketed the ground in soft purples and whites. A small, lettered shrine stood in the center, its stone surface etched with patterns I couldn't decipher. A thin stream tickled nearby, a sound harmonizing with the rustling leaves. Oh, it's not much, but I thought you like it. I turned to him, the moonlight catching his hair softly, his features. He looked different from the conversation we had today with Ren and everything. It felt as if this was a complete 360 degrees from what I expected, that he was lying. It caught me off guard. Then I thought the world was too loud and didn't have room for me. This place, it felt like it did. Wait, I thought you said 3 years ago you moved. I stepped closer to the shrine, running my fingers over the rough stone. The carvings were fancy, almost alive under my touch. It looks beautiful, like it doesn't belong in this world. Maybe it doesn't, but near to you. I looked back at him, startled. Like, what are you gonna do? Back away? I watched Scream too many times. Twice to be exact. The first one. Just finished the third one. I'm backing away now when you say that. He smiled softly, but there was something else there, something fragile, like he wasn't sure how to respond. That's strange. A strange way to compliment someone. He stepped closer, his hands brushing mine before he got it, his fingers threading through my mind again. Mine again. Kai, where did you say you grew up? He paused, glancing away before answering. A small town near Akigagawa Valley. The sounds came easily, but something about the way he said them made my stomach twist. And why did you move? You know why. For work. Is that the town we were from? I'm just saying, we were apparently moved for school from the parents. What if the fox is him and he followed us? Then why did you tell me you came here when you were younger? I came here a lot as a kid. My parents worked here. His hands brushed mine, grounding me for a moment. Maybe I was overthinking. But then his eyes caught the moonlight, and for a briefest moment, they shimmered like amber. You're so weird, Kai. Takes one to know one. He wrestled his cheek against my hair, his gaze squeezing mine gently. The world around us faded into the background. The stars, the shrine, the woods, all of it eclipsed the steady rhythm of his breathing, the quiet hum of his presence. I think if I ever lost this place, it'll be okay as long as I still had you. We walked back to the way we came from. You're awfully quiet tonight. Was I? No, you talk quite a lot when I feel like you're not completely being here with me. Just thinking. What about? I looked up at him, searching his face for answers. His smile faltered just for a second. Hey, I need you to trust me, okay? The woods grew quieter as we walked. The soft crunch of the leaves beneath us, beneath our feet, blending with the faint hum of the crickets. Kai's hand brushed against mine, and I glanced at him. He looked at me curiously, his head tilted slightly. What's on your mind? Something's odd. I think Raven's weird today. Something weird happened earlier. Kai slowed his pace, his hands slipping into his jacket pockets. The moonlight filtered through the branches, highlighting the puzzled look on his face. Weird how? The disappearing food. There was this girl, Rin. She seemed off. Then there was the food. Rin stopped walking. His brows furrowed slightly as he turned to face me. His expression was unreadable, his eyes searching mine. Rin out here? Oh, he's mumbling? Or he's talking to me. Yeah, she seemed scared, like something was chasing her, or maybe like she was running from something. Kai's gaze shifted towards the woods, his jaw tightening slightly. If she was scared, maybe it's something you shouldn't get involved in. Maybe you should go save your student. The firmness in his tone caught me off guard. I stopped too, frowning at him. Why would you say that? Because sometimes people carry things they're not ready to share. Pressing them might only make it worse. I need to find that girl later and see what she's scared of. The way he spoke, deliberate and careful, sent a ripple of unease for me. It didn't feel like he was just talking about Rin. It felt like he was talking about himself. He reached out his hand instinctively, his touch grounding me. I forced a smile. Yeah, probably. Yeah, also what I said about you trusting me. Maybe I can't ask you too much about that, but could you please believe in me? Could I ask you to stay with me? I thought in my mind for a moment, why? Would I like to stay with Rin? Rin, Kai. I want to find Rin. I want to find out what's they're being chased after. Yes. Don't tell me the answer now. I'm scared to hear it. Let's go back. You must be tired. And there I was, also dreaming about the moment of my childhood. I sat on the streets again, next to the little pillow and box I left for the fox, my legs dangling over the edge. The night stretched endlessly above me, stars scattering like freckles across the deep blue sky. Besides me, the small fox curled up, its fur tangled and dusty, but its eyes sharp and curious. We've known each other for 5 days, and I never missed a single day when I didn't visit him. Here, it's not much, but it's better than nothing, right? The fox's nose twitched and chewed. Ears flickered at the sound of my voice. I leaned back on my hands, feeling the rough concrete scrape against my palms. I'm not picky. I like that about you. Me, I can't even decide what to eat half the time. Or what to say, or what to do with my life. The fox tilted his head. Its gaze fixed on me like it's actually understood. I laughed quietly, but it came out more like a breath. Mrs. Porter said I need to apply myself. What does that even mean? Probably means work harder, but I stayed up all night cramming for the stupid test, and I still bombed it, like always. The fox crept closer, its paws barely making a sound. It rustled its head slightly on my knee, and its warmth of it felt steadier than anything I had all day. And my mom, she doesn't get it. She just keeps saying, "You're smarter than this." What's that supposed to help? That's supposed to help. It doesn't. It just makes me feel worse. Like maybe I'm not smart enough, and maybe I'll never be enough. I sigh and lean back for letting my shoulders slump. The rain above swirled in patterns I couldn't name, and I wondered if they felt lost too. You're lucky, no tests, no expectations, no beating down your neck, and my brain, because guaranteed we're talking to a kid, so my brain just went aka Kai, my brain just went to Jiji no Kito. So the theme song literally says no school for school ghosts and all that. And the song, and I just think of that, and one song I can actually memorize the Japanese theme song for. Just you and the wind and whatever this is we're doing. The fox let out a soft sound, something between a whisper and a sigh, and nudged my hand with its nose. I smiled and ran my fingers through its fur, careful not to press too hard. I bet you don't even care if I get another bad grade, or if I forget to text someone back. Or if I just want to sit here and talk to foxes instead of people. The fox licked my fingers, gently and quick, like it didn't want me to feel alone. My chest ached in that strange, hollow way that felt both better and worse at the same time. Yeah, I know, you understand. You're probably the best listener I've ever met. I scratched behind its ears, and its eyes closed, as if this moment was enough. As if I was enough. The fox's ears twitched, but stayed closed, leaning into my touch. Guarantee it is Kai. I wanted to keep it there forever, but I knew better. I'll come back though tomorrow and the day after, I promise. The fox looked up at me. Its tail flickered slightly, and I felt the promise settle inside me, warm and solid. I patted its head one last time before I stood up, brushing dust off my jeans. Don't forget me, okay? Not that you would. You're too smart for that. I climbed down the ladder, and when I glanced back up, the fox was still there, watching. It didn't move until I disappeared into view, and even then, I hoped it wouldn't leave, not yet. Hey, let me call you Kai from now on. Oh, yes, he is the fox spirit, the fox that we were talking to. The morning sunlight filtered weakly through the curtains, but the usual warmth of the day was absent. The house felt too quiet. I glanced at the clock on the wall. Kai shouldn't have left for work yet. Kai, you here? There's no answer. My chest tightened as I searched the house. His arms was pressed against me like a weight. His jacket was gone. His shoes were still by the door. Where did you go? My eyes fell on the clockboard. The note from last night, going for a walk, love you, was still pinned there, mocking me, with normalcy. I burst out of my small apartment and run with all my strength. I left faster and faster. I knew where I was going, the place that Kai led me last night. The shrines in the woods. The woods were darker than they should have been, the trees casting long shadows despite the sunlight filtering through the canopy. I moved cautiously, calling Kai's name into the stillness. Kai, this isn't funny. If you're messing with me, you win. Just come out. The only response was a rustling of leaves in the wind. A chill crawled through my spine. The further I went, the darker the woods became. The air felt heavier, thick with something I couldn't name. Then I saw a small ancient shrine hidden among the trees. Its stone surface was cracked and worn, moss creeping over its edges like a second skin. My breath hitched as I stepped closer. There was an energy here, powerful and strange. It hummed in the air, making my skin prickle. Scattered around the shrine were old notes and papers, their edges curled and yellowed with age. I crouched down, picking one up with trembling hands. Then I stumbled upon the crooked wooden wall of the shrine. My vision was fading. I blacked out. Kai! I raised my steps to catch the little fox, my best friend now. This was my 8th day feeding him and taking care of him. But something was wrong. Kai's body tensed, his tail low and stiff. His eyes darted around. Why didn't it work? He was scared, not of me, but something I couldn't see. Hey, what's wrong? It's just me. I knelt, reaching out slowly, but Kai stepped back, his paws scraping nervously against the pavement. My chest tightened. Kai, it's okay. I'm here. Don't do this. Don't do this. Kai's ears twitched, and for a second, he looked at me. Really looked like he wanted to trust me, but couldn't ignore whatever fear had gripped him. Then he turned, his small body trembling as he took another step away. No, please, no, wait, please don't go. But its tail flickered, and before I could move, he bolted. My breath hitched as I watched him disappear through the alley, leaving me standing there, heart pounding and empty. Well, it was raining too. That was the last time I saw him. When I saw him on the 9th day, when I came back on the 9th day, he was nowhere to be found. The only trace of him was the food and pills left for him. I gasped heavily as I woke up. Still in the shrine. Journals on the desk. The books on the desk in the Pori-Matan area of the shrine attracted me. I have a feeling they had to do something with me. I skimmed through most of the words. Rin Yamamori, age unknown, seemingly a strong fox spirit that had just regained the status of a 9-tailed kitsu. So that means he's older. Still, status very dangerous. I continued to skim through it. Is good friends with the old Kitsu leader and is expected to become the leader of the tribe one day, currently messing around in Tokyo with a normal citizen named YN. I felt sick, but I continued. On the 3rd of January, the operation of stealing him will begin. This is because he is expected to visit the shrines for Hatsumodi. When enclosed in the woods, the exorcists will gather and put special seals and charms over him. This is the end of Kai Yamamori, the rotten fox that has decided to plague the beautiful land of Japan. Just because he's a fox spirit? Papers nearby. I picked up the scattered piece of paper on the floor. A lot of those were messy, written, and scrawled out, rushed. Kitsu, guardian spirit, a spirit of the spirit world, able to shift between human fox forms. The words bored as my mind raced. My blood ran cold as I skimmed through her. They protect, but they're hunted too. Able to create illusions, making moments that had never existed before. The realization hit me like a tidal wave, my breath catching in my throat. Having gathered all the information I could, I stood up, my mind reeling with what I just read. Help him, let him get sealed. Well, we're going to help him first. I stumbled outside the shrine, and I was greeted with Kai standing amidst the chaos of glowing seals and spiritual energy. His back was to me, his shoulders tense. The faint amber glow of his eyes reflected off the shrine's cracked surface as he turned to look at me. His gaze softened instantly, a mix of guilt and longing flickered across his face. You came. I stepped closer, my hands trembling, unsure of what to say. The truth of what he was, the illusions, the memories, everything had shaken me. I still trust you. I know, but but it doesn't change how I feel about you. It's pretty dumb. He looked down, his expression twisting with regret. I never meant for this to go this far. I just wanted you to look at me the way you do now, to want me, even if you knew the truth. I couldn't stand the thought of losing you, even if it meant waving a world of lies. I just wanted to stay by your side. You're an idiot. He smiled at me. You're always too good with words. I'm an idiot too. You came to me because you're you. And the reason I like you is because you're you. And you are, and who you are is someone who's an idiot. So you like me because I'm an idiot? What are you trying to say? I love you. He gently held my hand, his eyes glowing. Oh, by the way, exorcist? I know those bunch of fools. And I'm worried. You don't have to be. The ground beneath us trembling as exorcists emerged from the trees, their chants growing louder. The seals around the shrine flare brighter, their light harsh and unforgiving. I tricked the love of my life. How hard would it be to make some conspiracy theorist forget my existence? The chants die down. The footsteps become array and frantic. I just wanted to see if you come to warn me. I was too guilty to tell the truth. I paused for a while, letting the silence sink in between us. A relieved sigh came from my lips. Despite everything, we just avoided a dangerous fate. What's after this? What do you mean? Are you coming back? I just want to hear my boyfriend's rant. Are you coming back? What if you want me to come back? A fresh new beginning? And the other day, we went to the grocery. You brought enough bread for 2 of us, and the due date is in 3 days, and you won't be able to finish it all by yourself. So you should come help me eat. Right. His face glowed with hopefulness. The following weeks were peaceful. A return to the quiet, the quiet we built together. The quiet life we built together. Kai, ever the mysterious charmer, seemed lighter now, less burned, more at ease, and yet he didn't forget the responsibilities he had left behind. So Rin is coming over today? You mean the fox girl who was cursing your name in the street? How do you convince her? I promise her I'll actually start teaching her again. Plus, I may have bribed her with snacks. You're crazy. Kai pulled me close, his arms wrapped around me in a warm embrace. And yet you love me anyway. Don't let it get to your head. Later, I watched from the porch as Kai sat cross-legged on the grass, patiently explaining something to Ren. Her fox-shaped earrings glistening in the setting sun as she scribbled notes down frantically. Her brows furrowed in concentration. This would be easier if you weren't so bad at explaining things. Hey, watch it, kid. I'm doing a favor here. You owe me. You skipped out on years of lessons. Kai laughed, the sound light and free, before ruffling her hair. No. You're explaining it all wrong. Or maybe you're just not paying attention. I don't know how you ever became a teacher. I like these two banter. Pure charm, obviously. I leaned against the door frame, smiling as I watched them bicker. Rin caught my eye and waved. Hey, Ryan, tell him he's a horrible teacher. Don't listen to her. She's just mad and better at illusions than she is. Rin waved her arms furiously. Alright, I'll make it up to you. We'll start with the basics and work our way up. Deal? Deal. But no more running off, okay? Kai glanced back at me, his amber eyes glowing softly in the faded light. No more running. I got everything I need right here. That night, we lay tangled together in the quiet of our room. Kai traced slow, lazy patterns on my arm. You know, I think this is the first time in forever, really, that I felt like I belong somewhere. You always belong. You just didn't see it. Kai pressed a kiss on my temple, his voice a low murmur against my skin. I see it now, and it's because of you. I tilt my head to look at him, my eyes swirling at the warmth in his eyes. As I rest my head against his chest, the steady rhythm of the heartbeat whirled me to the peaceful haze. For the first time, the future felt wide open, filled with endless possibilities. Ending 1, happy ever after. So we're gonna try to go and let him get sealed. Seal plan, January 3rd. Shrine location established. Contact line. My eyes linger on the numbers. My stomach churned with doubt. My hands acted on their own, pulling my phone from my pocket. I startled at the screen for what felt like eternity before dialing. The phone clicked after a few rings. The voice answered, calm and durable. This is Yokai Prevention Unit. State your purpose. Is this Kito from Digital Kito? Because that's the only person I will talk to about this. I hesitated, my voice barely above a whisper. Or I'm gonna go get a Jabanya. I love Yokai watching Digital Kito. I hesitated, my voice barely above a whisper. I have information about Kitsu, a 9-tailed one. The line went silent for a moment and I nearly hung up. Location? My throat felt dry and I forced out words. A shrine in the Akigagawa woods. He's there now. We'll hand it. Stay clear of the area. Before I could respond, the line went dead. I stood there, the phone clutched tightly in my hand, my chest tight with guilt and fear. Kai's footsteps broke the silence. He stepped into the clearing, his amber eyes meeting mine. You've been busy. His voice was calm, but there was a faint edge to it. My hands moved behind my back, hiding the phone. I've been thinking. Kai tilted his head, studying me. About what? About us, about everything. Kai stepped closer, his expression softened. You know, don't you? I nod, my gaze dropping to the ground. And you're still here. His voice carried a note of hope that twisted something inside me. Whatever you're thinking, you don't have to be afraid. I'll protect you always. The words felt like a knife to my chest. I couldn't bring myself to respond. His voice cracked. Please, let's talk about it. I'm so sorry, Wyan. I'm so sorry. Please. Kai's voice broke, trembling with desperation. He reached out, his fingers hovering inches from mine. Please don't push me away. Whatever it is you read, whatever you're feeling, I'll explain everything. I couldn't bring myself to meet his gaze. The weight of my phone in my pocket felt unbearable. Its presence a damning reminder of what I've done. You lied to me. Kai flinched as I struck him. He lowered his hand, his shoulders slumping. I know I did, and I hate myself for it. But I swear to you, it wasn't to hurt you. I didn't know how to tell you the truth. So you made me live in a lie instead. I was scared. His voice rose, cracking under the weight of his emotions, his hands clenching into fist at his sides. Scared of losing you, scared of being alone. You're the only person who ever made me feel human. You should have trusted me. I know, but I'm trusting you now. Whatever happens, whatever you decide, just know I love you. That's the one thing I would never lie about. But before I could say anything, this distant sounds of footsteps echoed through the woods. Run, Wyan, one. Run, Wyan, run. I'll hold them off. Instead of running, I stood still. Kai's head turned to look at me, confused, flickering his ember eyes. Wyan, you need to go. I'll be fine. Before he said anything further, I pushed him down. Caught off guard, it was easy to make him tremble and restrain himself, pulling my entire weight against his body. He wiggled, struggled, trying to break free. My hands kept slipping as I tried to hold him still, but then an added weight helped me. I woke up to see one mysterious man also holding him down. Then more came to restrain him. His other limbs successfully holding him captive. A large, more menacing figure went towards us, placing a hand on my shoulder. On instinct, I let go, and he took my place. Kai started to protest, swatting and fighting the group. The forest grew busier as they prepared for something. Candles were lit, singles were drawn, and Kai sat in the middle of it, forcing a kneel and bound by tight red ropes. Again, he struggled and squirmed for freedom, but his gaze caught mine. He froze. With eyes that screamed betrayal and leaps of broken heart, he hung his head low. The roped men then surrounded him in a circle while chanting in an unknown language. Yet, strangely enough, it seemed to attract the fox, which was now howling in pain and anguish. Kai flailed and threw his body into the ground as if he were having a bad seizure, worsening when the chant got louder. Kai had started to howl, his cries piercing the air with raw pain and anguish. Why? The words were barely audible, but I felt their weight on my chest like a boulder, and then silence. Kai's body lay motionless on the center of the ritual, his once vibrant presence reduced to a quiet stillness. I sat in the dimly lit room, the weight of the day pressing heavily on my chest. My hands trembling as I reached for the note still pinned on my corkboard. His handwriting so familiar, so filled with love. Going to work, love you. Kai was gone. I closed my eyes. You let them take him. Her words were a dagger, sharp and unforgiving. I couldn't bring myself to respond. He trusted you, and you betrayed him. I woke up from the dream, out of breath. Ending 2. Bad ending. So there's still one more ending, so I'm thinking we're here. Only me. Who are you? It's okay. We can do this all over again. Maybe something went wrong with my spell. Shh. You've forgotten this day. So I think that was ending 3. If you like my content, please subscribe, like the help out, and comment down below. I'll see you guys next time.